The mountains may look beautiful in the daylight, but when night falls, they transform into something else entirely. Deep within the Blue Ridge Mountains, many people swear they were never truly alone. These aren't legends. These are real testimonies from ordinary people who stumbled into extraordinary nightmares. Tonight, we'll uncover 10 terrifying encounters with feral beings that some believe still roam the dark heart of the forest. Mara, 24, loved hiking and solo camping. She thought a weekend alone in the wilderness would be a refreshing challenge. The first day was peaceful. Birds chirped, wind rustled through the trees. But as night fell, unease crept in. She kept hearing footsteps. Not animals, but slow, deliberate steps, stopping when she stopped. Inside her tent, the woods grew deathly quiet. Then came a strange whistle. Not a bird, but a clumsy imitation, almost human. She realized something out there was watching her. And that night, she didn't sleep at all. 4 college friends set out for a fun camping trip deep in the Blue Ridge. The first night was laughter and campfire stories. But the second night was different. As they sat by the fire, they heard voices, distant at first, then closer. A murmur, like a conversation. They froze. There wasn't another campsite for miles. The whispers circled them, weaving through the trees. And then, without warning, the fire went out, plunging them into pitch blackness. In the silence, they swore they felt warm breaths moving past their faces. A young camper awoke to a soft thump outside his tent. At the entrance was a small stone, carefully placed. The next morning, there were more. By the third night, the stones had been stacked into neat, unsettling piles around his campsite. That night, scratching began. Long, slow drags across the tent's fabric, fingers tracing shapes. He held his breath. Then, directly by his ear, a whisper came through the thin nylon. "Come out." His blood ran cold. He never returned to that mountain again. A seasoned hunter knew these woods like the back of his hand. But one night, he realized he wasn't the predator. He was the prey. A twig snapped behind him. Then a sharp whistle echoed. He turned, scanning with his flashlight. Nothing. He killed the light, hoping to blend in. That's when he saw them. 2 yellowish eyes glinting, too high for an animal, shifting between crouching and standing. When he turned his light back on, the eyes were gone. Then, behind him, another whistle, louder this time. He understood. It wasn't just one. Driving a narrow mountain road at midnight, a couple tried to navigate through heavy fog. Then they saw them, dozens of eyes reflecting in the headlights. At first, they thought deer, but the eyes moved, fast, too fast. Something slammed against the car, nearly knocking it off the road. The wife screamed as thin, pale hands slapped against the back window. They sped out of the woods, hearts racing, but the echo of the pounding followed them long after the forest disappeared in the rearview mirror. An explorer stumbled upon a cave carved into the mountainside. Inside, the air was damp, the walls etched with deep claw-like scratches. Bones littered the floor, small, brittle, unmistakably human. He turned to leave when a sharp whistle cut through the silence, echoing off the stone walls. Then footsteps, more than one, growing louder. He ran for the entrance, but behind him, something thin, impossibly fast, scraped across the rock, chasing him toward the light. He never set foot near that cave again. A park ranger patrolling the mountains stumbled upon a campsite in ruins. Torn tents, scattered supplies, a campfire snuffed out. No sign of the campers, but arranged carefully on the rocks nearby were small wooden dolls, crudely carved, watching silently. That night, as the ranger wrote his report, his radio crackled. Through the static came the faintest sound, a child crying. He searched and searched, but the crying wasn't coming from anywhere. It was coming from everywhere. A hiker and his dog wandered a trail when he spotted a little girl in a faded dress. She walked slowly, head tilted. He called out. No response. She turned, smiled strangely, and drifted between the trees. His dog barked wildly, refusing to follow. He shined his flashlight again. She was gone. Only a faint giggle floated back through the branches, then silence. An amateur photographer returned from the mountains with dozens of shots, but as he scrolled through, some weren't his. One picture showed his back, taken as if someone had been standing directly behind him. The final image was the worst. A pale, sunken face, grinning unnaturally, pressed close beside his own. The timestamp on the photo, just minutes before he fled in terror. In an old wooden cabin, a man tried to sleep, but every night he heard whispers drifting from the trees. At first, he thought it was the wind, but the words grew clearer, fractured sentences, his own name among them. One night, pretending to sleep, he heard it, right at his window. We're here. When he opened his eyes, nothing was there. Nothing, except a handprint, small, child-sized, pressed against the glass from the outside. Mountains don't lie. Those who enter know the forest isn't as empty as it seems. The question is, what do you believe? Are these encounters real, or the tricks of terrified minds? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more real horror stories that will make sleep feel like a luxury.